Hello, welcome to episode 74 of No Holds Barred Pod. That is Sal Dodgson.
And that is still Don McGowan. Welcome back, everybody. Now,
Hi.
Don teased us with something in the last episode, and even I don't know what you're talking about, so you're going to have to spill.
You've gone quiet again. Why has it gone
I
quiet?
haven't done anything. I've just sat here talking.
That's weird. It's just dropped the volume. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
Everything's plugged in. It'd be the stupid fairies and the Oodge and the
Don't
Fleck.
worry. I can always sort
Can you hear
it
me
out.
better now?
Oh, yeah, much better. Wow. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Right, so yeah, on the end of the last episode, we were discussing our like, share, subscribe situation, and you know, we need everyone, as many people as possible, to hit follow, whatever you're listening on or watching us on. Hit subscribe on YouTube. None of these things cost you any money; they're all free. What's great for us and bumps us up the algorithm is comments, however, and
Is it?
Yeah. Comments are always good. So we get quite a few comments on YouTube mainly, and they're mainly all negative. I decided to have a look at Apple Podcasts the other day, which I hadn't checked in on in a while, and we've got a 3.3 out of 5 rating on Apple, mainly because people don't like what we say sometimes about reform, I think. So I just wanted to
That's why we say it. We say the things
exactly.
other people won't or don't.
Yeah. I just wanted to read a couple of the comments.
The clues in the name.
Yeah, exactly. The comments on Apple Podcasts made me laugh. Someone called Chris Croc, as in the shoes, gave us a 1-star review, just says awful. The title was awful and the text was awful. He said awful.
Oh, well
Thanks,
done.
Chris.
Right. Yeah.
And then someone called Aki number 9 titled his or her review Drivel. If I could leave no stars, I would. Utter woke nonsense.
We're winning.
Yeah. I just thought that's excellent. I'll take that. Thanks, Aki number 9. Utter woke nonsense. I think we'll put that on the website with web vigilantes.
Oh, dear.
But the thing is, even negative comments help us. So, you know, if you want to slag us off, crack on, please.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
see?
wanted to say.
Yeah.
It all helps us with the old algorithm. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And that also being said, where we should mention Patreon, which is patreon.com/noholdsbarredpod for early episodes and get on our little community chat groups. We've got 3 chat groups going, and we've got a weekly Teams
nice
meeting
little group building, isn't it?
Yeah, we have. And
I've got to tell you, it's a lot of people power building as well. We're building a network, man.
I think we are.
We get stuff done.
Yeah.
So join us.
Absolutely.
Get on board.
Yeah, and it's not like you can get a 7-day free trial and check it out and have a listen and sort of see what our chat's up to if you want to, and you'll get the 2 episodes in that week a day early if you do on the 7-day trial. I think the base level for Patreon we set at the lowest possible level, didn't we? Whatever they would,
we
like
did.
$150 a month or something.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, that gets you early episodes and stuff as well. So, and you get access to our chat community. So it's less than like, what's that? $150, about like an eighth of a cup of coffee nowadays. So yeah, it's not very much money.
We do. Well, you certainly put a lot of hours into it, and I put lots of brain energy into it because that's all I've got.
Yeah. So anyway, right, that's our little admin-y, housekeeping-y bit out of the way. What shall we start with?
Oh, get the non-beds out of the way. Let's do the drivel, shall we, Don? Let's get the drivel out of the way.
Reform. I'm wearing my reform T-shirt today. I
thought that was your Mr. Big.
That is my Mr. Beast T-shirt. Team Water.
That was it, Mr.
Yeah,
Big.
but it's just the same colour, isn't it? It's just every time I see that bluey turquoise,
that's
I'm like,
blue. Oh. It's no, that's definitely blue. You're all
right. Anyway. Oh yeah, I was wearing this last week walking down the street in Cheltenham. Some little girl was with her mum and she was like, "Oh, that's Mr. Beast." Obviously not. I'm not Mr. Beast. She was pointing to my T-shirt. I think it's only kids that really recognise it. But what are you going to do?
You're a parent. You've got an excuse.
Yeah, that's true. And it was sent to me by Mr. Beast, to be fair, and Mark Rober. Anyway, reform. Okay, yeah. So this week, Reform have come up for a bit of scrutiny, only a little bit, but they have actually had a bit of media spotlight put on them. It was Tuesday, I believe, The Guardian dropped a story that they had found Christopher Harborne had gifted, in inverted commas, sorry, that ladybird's doing laps around my... There's a ladybird. And Christopher Harborne had given Nigel Farage personally 5 million quid before the election happened in 2024.
What a coincidence.
Apparently, according to the Reform stories, is Nigel Farage wasn't going to stand as an MP back then. He decided he was giving it up. He couldn't be bothered anymore. He'd had enough. And that he wanted Richard Tice to take on Reform UK and push it into the future, and he was just going to be around in the background. But then Christopher Harborne gave him another £5 million, which it was definitely nothing to do with him definitely making him an MP. He said it was to do with his private security. And then he said, oh, okay, all right, you've twisted my arm. And it was definitely not the £5 million that twisted my arm, but you've twisted my arm anyway. I'll go and stand for Clacton-on-Sea. And we know what happened from there. He won his seat. But the Guardian found this 5 million quid. And since they have, the various people in Reform have been asked about it, and various stories have come out, differing ones. I saw first who did I see? Suella Braverman was interviewed actually properly by Sophie Ridge on Sky about it. And there's actually about a 6-minute clip on YouTube of Sophie Ridge taking Suella Braverman to task about this 5 million quid. She kept saying to Braverman, why wasn't it declared? Okay, let's backtrack slightly. He wasn't an MP at the time it was given to him, and so that's one of the excuses. Oh, I didn't have to declare it because I wasn't an MP. But actually, the rules state that anything given to you within the 12 months prior to becoming an MP has to be declared. That's just the rules.
Yeah.
So this £5 million gift was within that time period. So he had to declare it in his register of interest. And that's why it's become the story. Because he never did. Along with, as it turns out, quite a lot. One finance guy has been talking to me about stuff this week, which we're looking into, because there's loads missing that he hasn't declared in the past. Anyway, that's coming later. But so he should have declared this £5 million, and he didn't. So Suella Braverman was saying, yeah, but it was for his private security. And she kept saying this same thing to Sophie Ridge on repeat. She said, so you want Nigel Farage to be killed? You think he should be killed? She kept saying that on Sky News. Sophie Ridge is going, I never said that. Of course you need to... Yeah, it really was. It's worth a look at the clip because it's just mad. I'll put a link into it. Actually.
She is mad. She's been mad for a long time.
She really is. But she kept saying it, and Sophie Ridge is going, no, but the rules state it was a gift. He had to declare it on his register of interest. Oh, what? It was for his security. You want him killed? You think he shouldn't have security? That's all she kept saying. I was like, this is mad. That
is so juvenile.
Yeah, really, totally. And she was answering completely the wrong question and just repeating it over and over again because he obviously didn't have the answer to the real question. But Sophie Ridge actually pushed her a bit, and it was quite telling because after 5 or 6 minutes, she just gave up and she was like, well, we're not going to get the answer out of you that we need. But I think that's the thing with journalists and Reform is that when they're pushed and they can't have an answer, they just get annoyed, they get angry, don't they? So
yeah, like children who can't get their own way. Mm-hmm. Same.
Like Farage did on that Bloomberg TV interview. I've forgotten
every day.
Michal Hussein interview, and he started calling her love. Oh, good try, love, and he was being really like misogynistic. He was like, oh,
chauvinist, isn't he?
Oh yes, yeah, Suella Braverman. Yeah. So then last night, which was Thursday, the 31st of April, is it 30th? I don't know how many days in April.
30th, I think.
Yeah.
31 in May.
I'm rubbish at that. Zaya Youssef was on Question Time again.
Oh, I watched it.
Did you? I didn't watch it.
I did.
I can't watch it.
He's such a smug shit.
Isn't he?
He had his arse handed to him, of course he did.
Did he? Oh, that's good.
Rachel Millward was very good.
Was she?
Very good.
Oh, I might watch it then, actually. I might go on iPlayer and have a look. But it turns out that Zaya Yusuf is the most booked guest since the 2024 general election. No one else has been on Question Time more than him.
Not even a politician.
No.
Not even
He's
elected.
Unelected millionaire
Imbecile.
bureaucrat. Yeah, it's just bizarre. So I'll come back to this in a minute because it ties into an article I wrote last night. But like, yeah, so the Harborne thing is just, so Zaya Yusuf apparently last night quoted some bizarre clause in one of the electoral rules saying that Farage could get away with it, basically. I don't know. He was lying as well. They're all lying. Farage has been caught out properly for not declaring £5 million. And that should, if that was any other MP, it would end their career. But with Nigel Farage...
How's Tice still walking around after last week?
Oh, fuck me. I know, yeah. He's £600,000 in the hole with HMRC. Fine, don't worry about him. Jenrick, £40,000.
But Lord Bamford is doing the same.
Yeah. Robert Jenrick took 40,000 quid off an American Ponzi scheme. Fine, don't worry about that. It's all fine. And that again ties into... This is what prompted me to write my article yesterday about media bias. But, yeah, so... Yeah, let's go on to that now because it... Oh, no, actually, one more thing before I do talk about that. Farage, after the gold is green thing, turned up for a photo op. Did you see it? So in our last episode, if you haven't heard it, we've discussed a lot about the Brent Cross gold is green attack, and Nigel Farage rolled into town with his bandwagon, and he pre-staged a load of people with Israeli flags. And they were.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah. And well, they also had organised for Keir Starmer coming as well and booed him, but the same group had been there earlier in the day, I think, for Nigel Farage, and they were like, "Oh, Nigel, we love you," and he was doing tours of like the Jewish bakeries and eating Jewish food and stuff. I just thought that's the hypocrisy of the man who has had what
at school
27 accusations of being racist,
anti-Semitic.
Yeah, at school. And in adulthood, as many people pointed out to me on Twitter after I wrote that, he's got a history of it. He said to Trump that the biggest problem would be the Jews or something like that. You know, this guy is not a friend to the Jewish community. But they were all there, all loving him, apparently, the group that he'd put together, because everything he does, we know, is staged, everything. There's not a single thing he'll do without having it pre-prepared. And I just thought it was a disgusting photo.
They're just co-opting, again, they're co-opting trauma that's stolen trauma
100%. But he did
and
it with
using
Southport.
it for political ends. It's disgusting. That's what they've been doing with these rape gangs for years.
Yeah, 100%. And he did it with Southport, didn't he?
It's
he
despicable.
milked for all it was possibly worth, and he still does, I think. So last night I was thinking, well, that was yesterday morning actually, and I haven't done a data deep dive on Twitter or on an article for a while. I sort of what got me my first Byline Times article last year when I used to do a bit of data diving on X. And so I thought I'd have a look because it's just quite... Yeah, let me just find my article. Yeah. So I thought I'd have a quick run of the numbers, and I compared Reform UK's. They've got 3 billionaire donors. All 3 are quite controversial, and all 3, to my mind, are flying completely under the radar. There's nothing being talked about. So apart from this £5 million that Christopher Harborne gifted to Farage, that's now being talked about by the news agents. Wow, well done. You've caught us up. It got me to thinking. So I thought, I broke out X Pro, which gives me access to, so I can write little snippets of code to search for certain things between certain dates and what have you, and stick some in a spreadsheet. So I looked at Christopher Harborne. So if you don't know about Harborne, he's a crypto billionaire, part owner of Tether. More significantly, and I think there's a lot more to come on this, I'm working on with one finance guy. He's the largest shareholder in Kinetic with a Q, which is wrapped up all entwined in our armed forces and our military. It's a defence technology company. It's a bit like Palantir, but a British version, and that's Christopher Harborne. And I think that's more significant than his crypto stuff, but then there's a lot more to come on that anyway. To date, he's given, including the £5 million that's come out this week, so there may be more, obviously. But what we know about is just under £28 million he's given to Nigel Farage. 28 million.
For no reason. What a generous man.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely not to get him to stand as an MP or to bankroll him, into government. The second guy is James Dello, who we talked about a few weeks ago, who's another crypto billionaire. He's already donated £4 million to Farage, said he's moving back from Hong Kong specifically so he can give millions of pounds to Nigel Farage. I don't know how he does it, how Farage does this, but, they seem...
Because Leveson 2 was never implemented.
Well, yeah, true. But they just seem absolutely to have hedged everything on, well, not everything, they're billionaires, but a lot of money on this guy becoming the next PM. The third billionaire that Farage has is an Iranian billionaire, surprisingly, British Iranian, who donated to a company called through a company called Interior Architecture Landscape Limited, who we wrote about. The Observer were going to pick up on my story last year, but they couldn't get it past their lawyers. And then it turned out... Go on.
If there's any link between the Gandaharis and Pahlavi, Reza Pahlavi in America.
Reza Pahlavi. Not that I'm aware of. No, nothing I've seen, but you never know. It might be worth a look.
Complete the circle, wouldn't it?
The Gandahari's mother came from Kazakhstan originally, and then was miraculously became a billionaire and bought the most expensive house in London on Bishop's Avenue.
Where's the Iranian connection?
I think the father is Iranian, so they're Iranian, Kazakh, British citizens. They're kind of all three.
Okay.
Anyway, so Gandahari paid for Nigel Farage to go to Davos this year to join the World Economic Forum, that of which he's been...
Nothing to see here.
Slagging off for years, and then suddenly a billionaire pays for him to turn up there, But anyway, I thought, well, you think that the man who's donated more than any other single person in the history of politics in our country, Christopher Harborne, would get some headlines. So I thought I'd go into it. I chose a date range of September 2024 till today, or till yesterday when I ran the numbers. So basically the entire time since Starmer won the general election and started government. So about 20 months it is. Mentions of Christopher Harborne in that time. So I picked BBC News, Sky News, LBC, Telegraph, Daily Mail, Talk TV, Guido Fawkes, FT, GB News, Sam Coates, Dan Hodges and Pippa Crerar. So that's the sort of most of the media and 3 select journalists who get stick for being anti-Starmer. So I thought I'd have a look. And in 20 months, across all of those people on X, Christopher Harborne has been mentioned 14 times. 14.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. And most of those have been in the last week because of what's happened recently. James Dello's been mentioned twice, and Gandahari twice. That's not twice, twice. Compare that to Lord Ali. So Lord Ali was the man that gave Keir Starmer some glasses and some suits, paid for stuff, let Angela Rayner use his flat. He's a Labour peer and a donor. He's been mentioned 197 times. Christopher Harborne, 14. The single biggest political donor in history. Versus some glasses and some suits to Starmer. Sue Gray, of Sue Gray fame, 396 appearances in that time. And Lord Hermer, who's the Attorney General, who most people haven't heard of, 337 times. Christopher Harborne, 14. It's just nuts. So
you've got to think that if Starmer gave a shit, he'd do Leveson too.
It beggars belief that he's not looking at something like that, doesn't it? It really does.
Yes. Oh, to the point where he's got to be invested in the whole scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Yeah. This is all a pantomime that they're pretending is still democracy. I'm reminded that in 2023, the Civil Freedoms Authority had us listed as authoritarian. So,
yeah. Well, just sticking on the media, I also looked at Peter Mandelson. So how many times Peter Mandelson's been mentioned in the same period, bearing in mind Christopher Harborne's 14 and Sue Gray was 300.
somewhere in the middle.
1,639 times Peter Mandelson's been mentioned in that same time period. The fucking media lost its mind over Peter Mandelson. 1,600
Eventually.
times. Yeah, but that shows you
That's
how
mad.
Yeah, isn't it? So how overtaken the news cycle that has, and that's obviously mainly been in the last sort of 2 months or so since the vetting story and all that stuff broke. 1,600 times.
I do wonder though what the American angle, how much that plays into it, because Mandelson will have been mentioned a lot over in America because they're delighted we're doing something about it, even though what Mandelson's been sort of dealt with over has nothing to do with Epstein. It's about business secrets of the government.
Yeah, it is.
But
I did.
Nevertheless, so all I'm saying is if they're repeating on Mandelson over in the States, then it's going to likely reflect over here because they've got to keep up with the Joneses, haven't they?
Yeah, well,
maybe.
I did also do a search on Epstein. Epstein was only mentioned 1,200 times compared to Mandelson's 1,600. And looking at the tweets, yeah, exactly. Looking at the tweets, most of the Epstein tweets, certainly over half of them, were related to Peter Mandelson, not to do with the Epstein files, but to do so let's say Epstein had 600 mentions in the same period to Peter Mandelson's 1,600. So it's just the most unhinged. GB News posted 461 times about Peter Mandelson in that period. Sky News, though, 246. Sky News went off the deep end with Peter Mandelson as well. Completely nuts. And I thought I'd run some other queries, like the cost of living I searched for, because, that should be the number one priority in the whole country. 400 times. Online safety, 368 times. I checked, I thought I'd go for a bit of balance, private schooling, 391 times, more than online safety, more than Lord Ali, Sue Gray, Harborne, Dello, Gandhari all together, private schools. Most of that, to be fair, was from the Daily Telegraph. Even the term drill, baby drill gets mentioned 36 times compared to Christopher Harborne's 14. It's nuts. So, it's a clear...
blatant.
Yeah. A clear proof, if you want it, that our media is underreporting on purpose, clearly. The biggest political donor in history. That's huge news. It should be huge news.
They're reporting manufactured bullshit is what they're doing.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just insane. So I did another little breakdown, and I thought just of the Mandelson thing because it's so nuts. And I thought I'd break it down to see who was talking about Mandelson the most. And obviously it was GB News, but GB News, wow. I thought GB News posted more than anyone else, but I'll come on to that in a minute. They don't, as it turns out. But GB News talked about... No, surprisingly not. But GB News talked about Mandelson the most. And then Sky News was second. So GB News was 28%, Sky News 15%. Then, do you know, 8% was the next highest. Do you think which one would be?
I'm tempted to say The Guardian, but only because Pippa Carrera's up to a wazoo in Labour Together.
Pippa Carrera mentioned it 4% on her own, which is actually quite high. More than
For
BBC
one person, it is. Jesus.
Yeah, more than BBC News. But wait. On 8%, Dan Hodges, on his own. Only Sky News and GB News tweeted more about Peter Mandelson than Dan Hodges. Dan Hodges
is an agent. Dan Hodges is an agent of somewhere.
8% of all Mandelson tweets in the last 20 months were Dan Hodges on his own.
That's insane.
Isn't it? It's crazy. I mean, Pippa Crerar is quite high on 4% for one person. Sam Coates is on 2%, which is the same as BBC News. But Dan Hodges on 8%, the third highest out of all news outlets. Higher than the Daily Mail, higher than Talk TV, higher than LBC. Crazy, isn't it?
Is he linked in with Musk? I mean, I'm assuming this is mostly through Twitter.
Yeah, it's only
if not
Twitter,
exclusively.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
It is only, yeah. It's only counted on Twitter, this stuff. So it's, yeah.
So has he got a line into Musk?
Don't know. He's a Daily Mail columnist, isn't he? But he tweeted, he was on 8% when the Daily Mail newspaper.
No, but to get that level of traction that you've got to figure that high.
It's just incessant. How many times did he post about it? Let me have a look. I'll tell you the exact number. Dan Hodges, where are you? There you are. 128 times about Mandelson. Whereas like Guido Fawkes was 100. No, that can't be right. Yeah, sorry. And Talk TV is only on 120. Daily Mail's 104 times. So yeah. So he's tweeted 128 times about Mandelson over the last sort of few months mainly, but it's crazy. But the media completely have collectively lost their minds about Peter Mandelson, as you can see. But back to the point in hand.
They haven't been particularly professional for about 15 years, have they? So surprises me not, to be honest.
Very true. Very true. But anyway, I think my figures give something of a benchmark. You can see that we're not being told the truth about Reform UK. We should be being informed about these things, like we are about Keir Starmer's glasses and Angela Rayner's house and all this other stuff that gets mentioned a billion times. But Christopher Harborne has flown under the radar and only had 14 mentions.
Well, because he's a billionaire who can manipulate the press with money.
And yeah, Reform UK have got the press in their pocket completely.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you can both buy advertising in a newspaper and also pay to not advertise in a newspaper.
Yeah, 100%.
No proof, just a suspicion.
I think so. I think it has to be the suppression of the news for Reform UK. And even when something bad comes out, which it has occasionally, you see it get quashed and it's gone within a day, 2 days.
Oh, look over there.
Yeah, exactly. That story that I broke the other week, which made it to Have I Got News for You?
Yeah.
But what's happened about it? Nothing. It's gone. Yeah. It's finished. Robert Jenrick's Ponzi scheme donation's gone. Tice's tax is gone. It just gets squashed.
No justice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep shouting about it. We're going to keep shouting about it.
We are.
And just as an aside, I thought it'd be interesting because when I've done these data things before, GB News always kind of skews the figures because they tweet more than everyone else. So I picked a random day, 24 hours, which was last week, 24th of April. and I found out that GB News posted 239 times in 24 hours. So that's every day they're doing this, about 240 tweets a day, which is about, what did I count it out? It's about 10 an hour. That's a lot, right? But then
that's one every 6 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I checked all of the same people that I mentioned before. And the Daily Mail actually posted 275 times in the same 24-hour period. So they're tweeting more often than GB News. So it's like...
And it's all dog shit as well. Not like... it's just propaganda, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Sky News falls into third place with a measly 115 in 24 hours. But the social media team that not Christopher Harborne, what's his name? Paul Marshall, who owns GB News. I mean, he's losing money so badly at GB News. They're losing millions every year, but he doesn't give a monkey. He's they've posted losses for the last 3 years.
No, I know, but they see it as paying for a service, don't they? It's not a loss.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's funding propaganda on behalf of people.
Yeah, sink that money into this project to get Nigel Farage into government. That's his ultimate goal.
To turn the UK right wing? Well, no.
Far right.
No.
Yeah. So, we've got 3 years still till the election, despite what Farage tells us.
There's no way Trump's making 3 years, I'm telling you now.
No, Trump's never going to make 3 years. I still don't think that Farage will make the full for 3 years. I think he'll give up before then. And I think when Farage gives up, and if Trump goes, that'll be a big thing for Farage, a big blow, won't it, which we've said before.
He's not going to give up while he's propped up by money, but if,
El Trumpo.
That terrible thing, then he's toast, isn't he? Which shouldn't be a thing, because it's all the psychological. Trump is this impenetrable force, which he's not. He's just a fucking lunatic, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
And when he goes, we're going to be left with other lunatics. But the fact is that they haven't spent their entire lifetimes building this caricature of a evil despot. So they're just going to get dispatched legally, like they should be.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
It's just exhausting in the meantime, and very desperate for the people under the violence that's being meted out as a result globally.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's it, really. I think it just kind of, I think I found it's proof as proof was needed that our media are falling in behind the Farage machine, aren't they, for the most part? And it's not just GB News and Talk TV and Daily Mail like you'd expect.
Oh, they're all at it.
The BBC, as proved by Zaya Yusuf being on Question Time for the umpteenth.
They're just a Zionist tool, aren't they, the BBC?
Yeah.
They're lost for the moment.
LBC, Sky News, they're all just falling in with the Farrago, I think we called it.
They're all propagandists.
Yeah.
No, we haven't had genuine, proper, trustworthy news since my son was born, or probably before that, I don't know. He's 20.
Yeah, it's really disappointing, isn't it? You got people like Byline Times and the Bylines Network and the New World, but they don't get the same coverage or traction, obviously, as people like the Daily Mail or GB News. So, yeah, it's very disappointing to hear.
However,
you can go and read it all, the full article on my Substack or on X. I put about on both. I will put a link below. And that was my Farage roundup of the week.
Farage round.
No, one more thing. One more thing, if you don't mind. I just wrote this last night, and I just wanted to caveat it slightly because I put it in as a comparison between reform billionaires and Starmer's scandals in inverted commas. And I think the kind of media bias against Keir Starmer is just so viciously wrong now. Because if you like Starmer, great. If you don't like Starmer, fine. We're not big Starmer people on this podcast, as you will know if you've ever listened to us before. But it's so wrong, the witch hunt that's going on right now. And they're trying to force him out of office. And it just occurred to me, if I was Keir Starmer right now, this is like a genuine witch hunt. I'd be like, get the keys to number 10, chuck him over your shoulder, press the button for general election, go home to Islington, look back like the Joker when he blows up the hospital, goes, right, fuck you all. Let Farage ruin the country for a year. Let's see a proper revolution happen when he does. I honestly, I don't know why he carries on, because they're not going to stop. And so, I don't know.
But he's aiding and abetting a genocide.
Yeah, no, I know there is that, of course. But
he's smashing in the disabled people.
So would Farage be. So would Kemi Badenoch be. So would Ed Davey. They would all be in the same position, wouldn't they? Not Zach Polanski, I agree. But, the other 4 would be. And
the Tories actually didn't for 14 years. They threatened it a lot, but they didn't fucking do it.
Well, they were still selling arms to Israel.
Nearly Labour's first point of order. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can't guarantee that the Tories, if they got back in, heaven forfend, they should all be off a cliff, would do worse, because that's proven to be inaccurate, because Labour have come in and we're the first people they kicked in the face.
Yeah, I don't think they would do worse, but I think the whole Israel situation would just remain the same. I think it's...
Oh, yeah, but unless the Greens got in, because we're infiltrated.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So the witch hunt of Starmer is a separate thing. Yes, he's part of the Israel situation, which he shouldn't be, but
he should have done Leveson too. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
I've said about 5 times this week, all it takes for evil to prosper is for good men to sit there and do nothing.
I don't understand why he's not doing anything about it either. It doesn't make any sense to me. He should be...
Well, you see, I'm past that suspicion. I now believe he's fully intrinsically involved in it, so whatever that is.
possible. It is possible. But honestly, I'd be like doing the fucking general election if I was Keir Starmer. Right, fuck you, I'm off. Like,
yeah, but you're a genuine person. You'd be doing it genuinely. He's joined a toxic machine because he wanted to. I don't know why. What's he going to do to improve the country exactly? Because what's he offering us? Because all at the minute he's offering us is keeping hold of the status quo to keep the war going and to keep the genocide going. I'm told lots of lies about the NHS.
Yeah, it's difficult to know, but I do think the media is out of control. That was my point.
It is.
I think
that's why we exist.
Fully insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think if Nigel Farage was Prime Minister, this shit would be going on right now. To the extent that it is right now. So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, again, how many MPs has he got?
Who? Farage?
Yeah, it's 8.
Including himself, 8, yeah.
Okay, and how many people do we need to form a cabinet again, Don?
22-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, this is why I struggle to take it all very seriously, and I don't understand. I mean, literally, if we'd have gone back to, say, 2021, if I'd have turned around and said, oh, Nigel Farage is going to take on government with 3 MPs, I'd have been sectioned. But then the press started saying it because they were trying to manufacture it happening.
Exactly.
And we're like a few years later and he's up to 8 MPs now. It's up like 1 a year or something, whatever. Just go away. You're just grifting shitbags. But the reason we know there's such terrible grifting shitbags is because there's good news coming out of China.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
Then I'm here to bring you all because...
Yeah, go for it.
You know, no one's saying any country's perfect. Nobody's got a brilliant government that's all humanitarian. It's what we're striving for. But in the meantime, everything we get told about China, all I'm going to say is take it with a pinch of salt and go and do your own research because I've got an article here from GadgetReview.com.
Yeah.
Reporting on the AI termination ban. Why Chinese courts just made it illegal to replace workers with robots. China, this is China we're talking about, right? Who are seemingly doing responsible things.
Yeah.
Obviously, as regular listeners will know, I'm not technologically literate, so I'm just going to read the words to everybody.
Go for it.
Hangzhou and Beijing courts rule AI adoption doesn't justify worker termination, forcing costly compliance for global tech manufacturers. The key takeaways. Chinese courts rule AI implementation doesn't legally justify firing workers under labour contract law. Tech companies must budget for worker transitions and training before automating jobs. Manufacturing cost increases from labour protections will likely raise consumer electronic prices. And it goes on to say that your favourite gadgets just got more expensive to make and that might be a good thing. Chinese courts delivered a surprising blow to tech companies betting on AI-powered cost-cutting, ruling that artificial intelligence adoption doesn't justify terminating employees under the country's labour contract law. The Hangzhou Intermediate People's Court made headlines in April when it sided with a senior tech worker named Zhu, whose company tried to demote him with a massive pay cut after implementing AI systems. The court's message was crystal clear. AI efficiency gains don't constitute a, quote-unquote, major change in objective circumstances that would legally permit firing workers. The legal reasoning cuts through corporate justifications. AI implementation is a voluntary business decision, not an unforeseeable catastrophe.
Interesting.
This wasn't an isolated ruling. Beijing courts had already established the precedent in December 2025, protecting a map data collector named Liu, whose job was automated away. The legal reasoning cuts through the corporate justifications like a hot knife through butter. AI implementation is a voluntary business decision, not an unforeseeable catastrophe like natural disasters or policy shifts. Courts emphasise that companies choosing to automate must negotiate with employees, offer training or provide reasonable reassignments before showing anyone the door. I won't go on again, but you get the gist. And we can link it to the
Yeah.
bottom of the pod. But
Yeah.
how good is that?
Well,
Hope out of
good.
China.
I know, that's a really positive step, isn't it? Because, you know,
leading the way.
It's a bit, it's ruling in favour of people rather than profits, which is an unusual and very welcome change for
bloody communists.
Exactly, fucking socialist, communist bastards. How dare they think of people first? Yeah, no, it's good news. I mean, that can't be anything but good.
I mean, if a country like China's going to do that,
yeah,
they're setting a precedent, aren't they, basically?
Well, you'd hope so. I mean, once Trump's out the way, because that obviously holds everything up, like, if that then sort of, becomes the norm across the world. Well,
maybe America's going to end up becoming the new China.
Yeah. What, after Trump goes?
Well, no, like low-paid factories and that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're trying to...
You know, spinning out all sorts of cheap shite.
Yeah, true. Could be. Might replace it. That might be Trump's last throw of the dice before he kicks it.
Well, I mean, that's what they're doing. They're trying to industrialise us, aren't they?
They are.
So
they're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cattle, like cattles, like cows in cattle sheds. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, right. Like cattles in cows. It came on the news earlier that Trump's gonna put a 25% tariff on the EU car manufacturers. Like, you can't. Your fucking tariffs are illegal, mate. You're having to pay back $166 billion because of your illegal tariff. And so he's thrown that out this afternoon. Friday afternoon bullshit from Trump. I don't know if he's
demented.
If he's closed or opened the Strait of Hormuz again this Friday, but yeah.
I tell you what I do have. Have you got anything else?
No, I'm done.
Okay, well then we will play out with, she says, trying to find it. There's a lovely little new Lego Dissy, but it's not remotely Iranian. It's about how shit Brexit is.
Oh, right. Okay.
Did you see it? I think I put it in the group. Okay, I'll send it to you now so you can plonk it in, but it's really good.
Yeah. What's it about?
How shit Brexit was.
Oh, how shit Brexit. Oh, no, you did send it to me. I haven't watched it, though. Yeah.
Brexit is bad, our latest track.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's from the Rejoin EU pie. Yeah, we'll put that in now, so I'll have a listen to that, because I haven't listened to it, but I assume it's brilliant, so check that out.
Accurate, as they tend to be. Lego videos are more accurate than the news.
Actually, just before we go, I was thinking about this Brexit whole situation the other day. If Keir Starmer started running on a platform of rejoining the EU, he would absolutely fucking walk the next general election. Do you think?
Well, I asked Richard Corbett in person about this. Just was it? I think it might have been just before the general, and I'm like, A, what the fuck? B, why is he not just doing the intelligent thing and saying we need to have either another referendum or just pave the path to rejoining the single market and stuff? And he said, oh no, he can't do that. He doesn't want to be seen to be being dishonest. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I read. That's what they've said. It's not in our manifesto. It's not a manifesto promise to rejoin the EU.
It's what's best for the country, you utter imbecile. Exactly. You don't seem to give a shit about any of the other manifesto promises that you suddenly dropped and don't care about anymore. Leveson 2, renationalisation, things that I can't quite, Yeah.
I know.
But you get my drift. So I don't buy it. I'm sorry, it's just bullshit.
No, it's just a hypothetical. I just thought if he did.
Yeah. Oh, no, you know what I'm like? If I see a person, I will ask them the question I've been dying to ask. I do that. I do it nicely.
It's something I've been musing on as a little kind of thought experiment recently. Because whoever, Ed Davies said he would do it with the Lib Dems, but they haven't got enough. But if Starmer said, we'll promise you another referendum or we'll put us back in Europe, I think.
I mean, he seems to be doing it piecemeal.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's like he's just quietly putting the jigsaw puzzle pieces back in very, very, very slowly. Is it so that the Brexiteers won't notice and then they'll turn around one day and we'll suddenly be back in?
Yeah.
Or we won't be back. We won't be back in. We've just got all the arrangements we had before, but don't tell anyone. We'll not name it.
Yeah.
Stupid, man.
What? They'll only notice when we start using euros. They go to the cash point to get
I'm so over it. I don't care what type of cash we have to use. It's just a fundamental system of trade.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, on that little weird note, let's wrap up, I think. And
okay, well, I hope everybody has a lovely weekend. Keep your pecker up and things.
It's going to rain.
I know the cows are lined up. Well, that's what the weather guessers say. They said it was going to rain today. Not seen a drop yet. How is meteorology still diabolical in 2026? We've got science and technology together at the same time, and it's still stupid.
I know. I got a weather thing this morning saying it was going to rain, but it's been just sunshine all day. It's been lovely. Yeah. It does say it's going to rain on Saturday, but yeah.
And that's why they're called weather guessers, not meteorologists anymore.
Enjoy the sunshine, everyone. Have a nice sunny weekend, hopefully. And
we'll see you next week.
Hopefully with a special guest, perhaps.
Oh, yes, Sugar Lumps. Get me. We've got Mike Dix coming on next week, hopefully, to talk about the Renters... I was going to say Riot Act. That's not what I was looking for. The Renters' Rights Act. Yes. So that will be very interesting.
It will.
Because we can go through changes and the differences they've made or not.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. No, it'd be good.
So please do the like, share, subscribe, and we will see you soon.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Now, class. Let's begin.
Brexit is bad.
Not for a meme, not for a fad. Brexit is bad for the trade that we had.
Today we're talking Brexit and the economy. No pub chat myths, just geography. Look at the map, that's lesson 1. You trade most with your next door neighbors, son. You can't drag Britain off to America.
Come on.
You said you were clever. We're sat by Europe, that fact stays. So distance decides where business goes each day.
Now, class. Let's repeat after me.
Brexit is bad.
Picture a car boot Sunday. Who you see, buyers, sellers, rows and rules. You've got a store, but more than that, you're inside where the trade's at. You help set pitch fees, opening times, standard spaces, the parking lines. If the roof leaks through or the entrance jams, you're in the room with a vote and a hand. That is membership. Understand the deal. Not just trading, but shaping the field. Then someone says, leave.
Be free, no board, no rules, sovereignty.
Sounds great, till the next week starts, cause the same group still runs the market. Only now you're paying more with nowhere to park it. Now, class, let's repeat after me.
Brexit is bad.
That's trade gravity. Simply
trade with your neighbors or feel the cost. Shortest route, lowest price, profits lost. That's why nearby trade is the core of the game. That means cheaper food,
cheaper meds,
fewer hold-ups at the border checks. So Brexit did not make distance go away.
It just put more friction every day.
Membership cuts the cost when the crates come round. Get you back in the room where the rules go down. Rejoin the table, don't plead for trade now. Same map, same sea, same Brexit truth each day.
You can't shift the island, but you can vote this away. Brexit is bad, that's the lesson today.